Hi everyone. I just wanted to say first and foremost, I miss you all. I know it's been a while since I've done one of the check-ins because for those of you who have been subscribed to my channel from the beginning, again, thank you for the support, the loyalty, and I hope you'll check out this video, and hopefully you've hit the bell on the channel for subscriptions and notifications. But yeah, I'm back to videos again. I'll be doing them, premiering them once a week, and I'm gonna be doing the moon cycle check-ins yet again for new moon, full moons. But yeah, I haven't been back in a while, and I'm so excited to be back here with you all, just to check in and kind of see how we've all been dealing with these planetary energies and these cycles, and how we're being physically impacted, emotionally impacted, or any changes going on, particularly in our lives, and so on and so forth. And per usual with me, there's always so much going on with me, whether it's energetically or emotionally, especially during this spiritual ascension process that I've been very intentional about. And for those of you who don't know, since having my last, I would say, level up as far as spiritual awakening goes last year in 2020, and starting this channel, I've actually started my own business. I'm doing intuitive life coaching, utilizing my spiritual gifts, my ability to connect with individuals through my gift of using my throat chakra and talking, but most importantly, my heart and my third, fifth eye, that's been activated and just has been growing and expanding over this last year or so. So I've been utilizing these gifts, this hypersensitivity, this empathy, growing, exercising, and learning how to use it as a tool with my clients, and grow with them and support them and give them really great knowledge, wisdom, advice, and support. And my clients have ranged from younger folks to older folks, relationship counseling, career counseling, new adventure counseling. It's just been a variety of experiences that I've shared with these clients, well, my friends, really, because I really see my clients as my friends. But yeah, I've been up to new things. I've got other creative projects and stuff I'll be introducing to this YouTube channel, so please stick around, stay tuned, and again, hit the bell for the notifications so that you can be the first to see my new materials and projects that I'm uploading here. So for the check-in, I know I've been gone for a while, y'all, so I'll spare you all the details of going back through all the moon cycles that I haven't touched on. So I'm just going to go back as far as this last full moon in Capricorn, all the way through to the new moon in Cancer that we recently experienced on July 9th. So the full moon in Capricorn, I want to say, when was that? I think it was June 24th. Don't quote me, I might be wrong on the date, but I'm pretty sure it was June 24th. But anywho, so just like the usual check-in for me personally, because that full moon in Capricorn, and full moons in general, I'm not sure if we all know or if we've covered before, full moons are about really releasing, closing out things, making decisions, making large shifts or like major shifts after working through energy cycles. And full moons are really like check-in points, right? So in particular, this full moon in Capricorn that passed was a special full moon because the last, I think, full moons in Capricorn for like the last few years usually are eclipses, and so, or usually were eclipses, and so the energy was really, really intense, really significant, and they're like really around extreme changes, like significant life changes or events happening, and major decisions we all would have to make at a soul level if that's the choice that we're making during the time period it would come up. But this particular full moon in Capricorn was the first time in a while that we didn't have an eclipse. So the energy as such was more settled and allowed us to be more grounded. And more than likely, I don't know about y'all, but we were already working through some stuff, already going through probably repeating cycles or repeating situations or being stuck in the same swing of things. And we had already been working through things that we were making decisions about. So me in particularly, I had already been making decisions and really focusing and highlighting on relationships in my life that were in alignment with how I see myself, how I feel about myself in terms of self-worth, self-love, and feeling good in my own body, in my own skin, feeling confident in the growth that I've had in terms of, like I was even mentioning earlier, my business and all that, in terms of the confidence with doing the actual life coaching, giving be it knowledge or the advice, the support. I'm also a Reiki master, for those of you who don't know, and I also administer the energetic healing in the Reiki. So in terms of growing those spiritual gifts and growing confidence in the work and really kind of playing with, exercising, strengthening even the skill sets with my business and on this spiritual journey. But along with carrying that confidence that I've had around starting a new business into like my day-to-day life practices, right? And my relationships with people daily, whether, you know, those are strangers out and about, but really the relationships with the people closest in my life, family members and close friends. All of it kind of trickled over, and all of those relationships and interactions were all associated in an alignment with, again, how I've been feeling about myself and reflecting or reflectory of how I engage with myself, how I feel internally, out to the real world. And so coming up on this full moon in Capricorn for me, because I had already been working with that theme, the theme of self-worth, theme of self-confidence, wanting to feel good, surrounding myself with people and experiences that bring joy to my life, joy to my soul, remind me of just so much gratitude and support. I had already been deciding what I was kind of going to cut out or what I was no longer going to be involved with, who I was going to separate or distance myself from. But then also this full moon in Capricorn was really about taking a look at yourself internally and trying to shift your perspective about certain relationships or certain approaches you've had in relationships and such. I think I remember telling you guys in one of these check-in videos that with my twin flame, I had recently decided, okay, I'm cutting that off, and I had really gotten the courage to walk away from it and really have pride and power in the fact that I didn't feel held captive anymore because it wasn't in alignment. But over the time, since that particular moon cycle and that particular overall planetary energy and the shifts that I had in my own consciousness and in my own perspectives, I had the opportunity approaching this full moon in Capricorn to really even evaluate that relationship and the interactions and engagements I had had in that relationship with my twin flame. And I went back around to consider having a new beginning and really offering a different style of communication, really looking at how I could invest differently, communicate differently, and engage differently in a higher expression, a higher conscious expression, coming from love, understanding, more patience, not just with my twin flame, but really with myself, and thus that, again, reflecting back towards my twin. And we're communicating surprisingly better. I would say the full moon in Capricorn allowed me to release the fears and the pain that I had associated with that relationship from the past to allow me to actually commit to giving it an opportunity to start a new beginning. And that was a really big deal. So I was going through that. And then I've also been planning a major move to a new location, residential location in my life. And I have been really focused on that and putting a lot of energy. But those of you who understand how manifestation works, you really can't put a whole lot of emphasis on the specific outcome of anything that you're trying to manifest. And I found myself struggling up until the full moon in Capricorn about where am I going to live at? Where is this move going to be? Is it going to meet all of these points or specifications that I visualized and detailed out for that specific move and for where I want it to be? And that was all just going against, really, again, the whole last step of manifestation, which is releasing specific expectations around the outcome, right? And how that comes up. And so this full moon in Capricorn for me was really emotional and really reminded me to release. I had my heart set on kind of an apartment, and I actually ended up finding out that it got rented and I wasn't going to be able to move to that place. And I actually had to go back and sit with spirit and sit with the energy and my chakras and balance myself out. I had to do meditation groundings. I had to really pray. I cried about it. I talked to spirit. I wrote in my journal. I went back to the list of what I wanted, but I went back to the list of how do you actually manifest? I went back to the steps of manifestation, and I really sat with the comfort and the faith that it was going to work out, that it's still going to work out. And I was able to release that disappointment and move back into the space of detachment and allow spirit to bring the place that is meant for me and meant for my family into fruition without being attached to that outcome. And I'm like so much in a better space now, like since the full moon in Capricorn, which leads me into how I'd been feeling and experiencing the new moon in Cancer energy. So for those of you who've been following me and loyally subscribed, thank you again. You've known that I've been going through these ascension symptoms and growing spiritually in terms of my own energetic frequency and resonancy. And so I've been having these physical symptoms like the pulsating of the third, fifth eye in my forehead. I now have a mole right in my forehead where the third eye is located, and the feeling of the pulsating sensations in my heart chakra and in my solar plexus. But then I had also been having like these crown chakra sensations around my head and the crown, right? When I get energetic downloads, that would make me like woozy and give me like flashes of like heat, almost bolts of electricity, and I could feel myself like vibrating. And I still don't know if any of you guys can relate to this because of course nobody's put anything in the comments. So again, if anyone is experiencing or has experienced an awakening or experienced any ascension symptoms, I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to read in the comments. I would love it if you shared this channel with other people who have gone through these spiritual experiences and could possibly have any commentary or anything that they relate to and give me any feedback. I would love that. Thank you. But yeah, I'm still experiencing that. But again, the full moon in Capricorn, it wasn't as intense as it has been. But I spoke too soon because moving into this new moon in Cancer that was on July 9th, I started getting, started experiencing the symptoms again. Not as significantly as I have in the past, but I have like this new sensation. So now when I get these new downloads, I think I got like a new spirit guide or something like that from what I was reading and from what Spirit's been telling me, that I have a new support system in place. So whenever I get downloads or support now, the first time I got it was about when I was saying I was really struggling when I get in that apartment, and I got this it was like a bolt of lightning, like at the top of my head, that like numbs the top forehead temple area right here, and it comes down through my face and then like tingles and dissipates. But when it initially hits the top of my head, I lose my hearing. It's almost like I'm going through some type of portal, maybe. And the feeling is, the physical feeling is as if you're going through a tunnel and you have that pressure that creates an impediment in your ability to be able to hear. And it's like, oh, you can swallow, try to put gum in, and it never really works. Yeah, it's that bad. It doesn't ever work. So I realized when I started getting these, again, the first time I got it was around the time I was connecting with Spirit, and they were like, chill, that's not your apartment because we got somewhere else for you. That was the first time I had gotten that sensation, but I've gotten them pretty regularly on and off since then. And new moons are about setting new intentions and continuing following through in cycles. Now, I already said with the full moon in Capricorn, I already known what I was cutting out and walking away from and what wasn't working for me. And I already been going through these changes and sitting through these changes. So this new moon, my intentions were so clear, way more obvious than they've ever been before, very consistent, including me finalizing and finishing up my hypnotherapy certifications, because I am soon to be a certified hypnotherapist, along with being the Reiki master, the certified life coach, certified energy healer, amongst a few other modalities that I do practice and integrate into my specific alternative health practice. So again, I have this finishing the certifications, past life regressions certifications, on a couple other, again, creative things or creative ventures that I'm going to be pursuing. And the move and these other things that I have set intentions for. So for me, this new moon in Cancer has really been about following through and being at peace, knowing what's in alignment with me, keeping my energetic vibration high, eating well, taking care of my body, being in touch with my emotions. The new moon in Cancer did kind of do a doozy on my emotions in terms of me having to reflect. I actually started experiencing physical pain and symptoms like energetic blocks in the body, and I was like, oh, I need to go get a Chinese medicine massage or something like that, or get acupuncture or anything like that would help. But the reality is, because there's this buildup of all these energetic emotional blocks that I hadn't been tending to or wasn't completely aware of because they are locked in my unconscious or subconscious, starting from this new moon in Cancer time period through this last week even, none of that was helping because I needed to cry, I needed to move through some stuff. So lo and behold, though, the new moon in Cancer again came with affirmation and confirmation of, again, my intentions and what I want it to be in alignment with my dreams and what I'm manifesting. And as mentioned with the twin flame thing, I went back to that relationship with all intentions of doing the new beginning, new start, with a fresh new perspective, new ways of communicating, and a lot more patience than I've ever had before. But being in it, I really, really realized that, like, even if I change and do all that and show up as my best self, it's still not in alignment because I'm not happy. I'm not actually fulfilled in the way that I want to be. And I think that's because I just have grown so much, and I'm so excited about all the changes happening to me spiritually and with my business and all of the ideas and projects that I have in place and all of that. I just realized that the whole twin flame journey, in terms of affirmation, if it's going to work and you're going to come to in union with your twin flame, really is about the mission. And if the other twin isn't about the mission, eventually you have to finally go your separate ways, because you get sucked dry and you're no longer invested in it. You're no longer emotionally fulfilled. And this new moon totally reaffirmed that for me. And that it wasn't about being a better Devyn or a better version of Devyn, but more so about doing what was in alignment with this newer, better version of Devyn, pursuing the love, the relationship, the partnership, the counter partnership, the divinely given, gifted partnership that is in alignment with this new, best, better version of Devyn. And I wasn't doing it for me anymore. And now I feel like I'm back at square one. Who can relate to that? I'm sure some of y'all can. But like, this is what this check-in is about, right? It's about full transparency and sharing. And so I say all that to say to you, the new moon in Cancer for me was physically somewhat challenging in terms of the emotions understood, and even the ones not understood, the ones released versus the ones that were trapped and creating, again, the pain and the blocks in me. But the new moon in Cancer was reassurance of the fact that, like, I'm at least still going the right direction, and that it's all about being in alignment with what your heart truly desires, what your energy and your life purpose is driving you towards. And of course, not all of you, not everybody's going to be pursuing their life purpose, right? Some of us don't even know it yet, and that's perfectly okay. But I think for me, that new moon in Cancer just reaffirmed the fact that when you do know it and you do feel it at a holistic, deep, energetic level, this soul knowingness, anything you try to do to resist that and go against it or go backwards against it literally will physically blow up on you. I'm just kidding. Maybe not literally and physically. Kind of depends. But definitely metaphorically and energetically, it will be tower moment after tower moment, for those of you who are familiar with tarot terms. And so I am back here, back at this channel, doing these uploads, still elevating energetically, developing and exercising this third, fifth eye, this throat chakra, my heart chakra expanding, and this crown chakra expanding, getting these new downloads of information, these new sensations. And I am excited to be back with y'all to give you updates, not just about my physical experiences and emotional experiences through these moon cycles, but really also about my expanding adventures, like I said. So I am grateful again for you being on this journey of my spiritual awakening with me as I give you these tips, these tricks, this insight, and I get feedback from you on your journey. And I can maybe guide and help you on your journey if you haven't started it. So thank you again for being with me. I wish you all a happy rest of this beautiful Cancer season as we move into the next full moon in about a week or so. I think it's on the 24th, I think, again. But yeah, I hope to see you guys back here again soon. Take care.